Lifelong learning programs that have the highest staff productivity number are normally lifelong learning programs that have done a really good job putting together their staffing structure and building an efficient and productive staffing structure. LERN has done a lot of work with programs over the years on their staffing structure and has developed what we call the LERN Ideal Staffing Structure. And the LERN Ideal Staffing Structure has 5 key components to it. It's not about the picture of the structure that's important, it's about these key functional components. The first component has to do with whoever is the director or VP or superintendent, the leader of the program. And it's important that first of all, that person is spending 50% of their time out of the office. Their job is out in the community generating new initiatives. Those might be new product areas, new delivery methods, new market segments. The second thing they're responsible for is spending 25% of their time training themselves as well as training their staff to ensure that the intellectual capital is high as it needs to be. And then the third thing is just managing the program. But in managing the program, it's really important, in particularly a larger organization, that there is a management team that works with that director or leader of the program. The second component of the staffing structure is you want to centralize operations. So all the day-to-day functional tasks that take place, customer service, registration, report generation, logistical things, the more of that you can centralize with one or more people who make up your operations team, the more effective and more consistent the organization is. The third thing is you want to let your revenue generators generate revenue, and that's the people who do course programming and the people who do sales. And the less time they're involved in operations, the more time they can spend actually doing their job, coming up with new courses, finding instructors, selling contracts. Thus, one of the reasons we centralize operations is to get them out of the day-to-day operational type tasks. The fourth component is marketing. You need to have at least one person who is focused on what we call think marketing. Their job, of course, is to handle the functional sides of marketing, but they're also responsible for looking at trends, looking at new ways to market, testing those types of things, as well as working along with the programmers and salespeople to develop appropriate campaigns. And then the fifth component is that if you are doing both contract sales and open enrollment, it is better to separate the two. They may use the same resources, meaning the same instructors and the same curriculum, but what you want to do is let them do their job differently. Because if you're selling open enrollment, you're selling that to an individual, most likely using marketing materials. If you're selling contract training, you're probably using salespeople who are selling directly into companies and organizations and government agencies. When you think about the staffing structure and switching to the staffing structure, you need to realize that you really can't just restructure and the next morning look like this. This is a transition that takes time. Programs that aren't really operating in a model like this, it could take upwards to 3 years before you can fully make this transition. But the most important point is you want to make sure you start with operations. If you can get your operations side in order, centralize various operational tasks, then that frees up the other people to be able to do the things they need to do to support the structure. So lean on LERN for information that works.